What's up guys, Sauceman MMA here, and today I'm back with another video. I'm going to be matchmaking all the fighters in the main card for UFC 325. I'm just going to be talking about which fighters you should fight next, what fights should work. And this video was supposed to release like a couple days ago. The rankings have changed so much, like since 325 went down, like the rankings are kind of all over the place now. So I had to change it a couple times. Now the final product is ready, and yeah, let's get right into the video. Starting off with Quill and Salkwill. Now I'm looking at this from perspective, like I'm Dana White, for example. And I want to hype up Quill and Salkwill and get him in the top because we have to get him ranked. We have to get Quill and Salkwill ranked somehow. And at first, I saw a video that Bedtime MMA posted. He said Quill and Salkwill just stepping against Moicano for the new co-main of 326. I think that's a good idea, but there's a chance Moicano could beat him. I think even though Moicano is in the bottom rankings, I think he still has a chance. I think he could beat Quill and Salkwill. I'm not saying he would, but I'm saying there's a chance he could. So I think that's a little too risky. Plus, Moicano's been training for a fight. And Salkwill just came off a win, which it's good they came off a win, but maybe a little too soon of a turnaround. So just to be safe, I think we're going to give him Beneil Dariush. Beneil Dariush, I'm actually confident Quill and Salkwill to either knock him out or maybe submit him. I'm confident he'd win this fight, though. Dariush is really washed. His chin is absolutely gone. I'm 100% confident Quill and Salkwill could beat him. I think if there's any fight for him, it should be him. I've heard some people say like he should fight a little higher in the rankings, but I think for now, I think this is good. We can at least get Quill and Salkwill ranked. We can get him in the top 15. So I think next they should do Salkwill versus Beneil Dariush for like a featured fight on a pay-per-view or something like that. As for Jamie Malarkey, I kind of really know. He's not really a guy who really intrigues me that much. I'd say it was my second time watching him fight last at 325. I'd say just give him another prospect or something, because he's mostly, from what I've seen, he's a guy that they just used to hype up prospects, so I'd say just give him a prospect or something. I don't really know. Now for Teixeira versus Tuivasa, and I'm not excited for either of these guys' futures. I can't even lie. It was a pretty terrible fight. And it's ironic I'm saying that, because yesterday, this video was going to be uploaded on a Sunday, but I think it was fight night, Bautista versus Oliveira went down. Gialto Almeida fought in that card. It was a terrible fight. He literally needs to get slimed out. Like, that guy, send him to PFL, please. But back on the Tuivasa versus Teixeira fight. For Charles Teixeira, first of all, we're going to talk about him first. I think he should fight someone. I don't want to make him fight down in the rankings. We want to build him up as a prospect. So I think a good opponent for him, that's above him, honestly, is Ante Delija. He just came off his loss to Waldo Cortez Acosta. And they're only one place for in the rankings. I think this would be a good fight, honestly. Haven't really watched a lot of Ante Delija. I saw his loss to Cortez Acosta. He looks pretty alright, but I think he could beat Teixeira. It's not out of the realm of possibility. But yeah, for Charles Teixeira, we're going to give him Ante Delija for his next opponent. Now let's talk about Tuivasa, and this, oh my goodness. This was hard, I can't even lie. I had to think of some for Tuivasa. He's done fighting up in the rankings. He is fighting unranked guys next. I know it's a spoiler, but like, for whom announced, but it's an unranked guy. Tuivasa, we're done having him fight above the rankings. I considered having him do a Derek Lewis rematch because they're both in the horrible places in their career right now. But it doesn't make sense because Tuivasa beats him. Then what? Tuivasa, who after that? Like Tuivasa versus Tom Aspinall? Hell no. This is a disaster. Tuivasa's just, his heart's gone. The talk about in the locker room and stuff, and it's just, oh my goodness. I want to see him do a shoey. Tuivasa will never do a shoey again. A lot of people have been saying this. I think it's really true that he should go to like dirty boxing or like bare knuckle or something. I think he would do great because no grappling. Tuivasa's got some decent hands too. Even the people overrate him as a striker like crazy. I think he's got good hands, but like if people were like Tuivasa used to be a great striker, like he was Anderson Silva level striking or something, like no. But for his next opponent, and if he loses, he has to retire. Like 7-fight losing streak, we can't be doing that. We're giving him Josh Hockett, and Josh Hockett, he's a new prospect in heavyweight division. He's got a lot of eyes towards him for good or bad reasons. That's up for you to decide. I think he's kind of cringe. I don't know. I think he's kind of annoying. But have him fight Tuivasa do it at the White House. Honestly, do it at the White House. Josh Hockett, he's American. He's gonna get them like I can spank lightning and I can crack thunder or whatever the hell he said. I think this is a good fight. If Tuivasa beats him, okay, we get to see Tuivasa. He beat an unranked guy. We get to keep him around for a little bit. Maybe build him up. We give him some more fights. If Josh Hockett wins, we have a new ranked heavyweight prospect. We need some new names in the heavyweight division. It's so bad right now. But yeah, I think this is a good fight. Throw us in the White House, honestly. Throw this fight in the White House on like the prelims or something. I think this would be a pretty cool fight. It's anybody's fight, honestly. To heavyweights, like I said before, it's in a horrible state. But if I were the matchmaking, I think this is definitely the fight to make for Tuivasa next. Also, this is kind of crazy to think about. Like, Yoel Romero had 3 fights and was cut. Tuivasa's on a 6-fight losing streak, and he's nowhere near Yoel Romero's level. He's still in the UFC, and Tuivasa is only 32. Like, I can't even say he's washed because he's like, dude, this is for like another UFC fighter. This would be like their prime years. Tuivasa, we're already talking about he needs to retire and leave the UFC. That just shows how bad this division is, honestly. Like, what a disgusting, terrible division. Just nuke this division. Besides, and the only good heavyweight fight is Cyril Gane versus Tom Aspinall, ended because of an eye poke. Just pissed me off, dude. Now for Mauricio Hufi and Rafael Fiziev. Now, we're going to talk about Mauricio Hufi first. Mauricio did call out Michael Chandler to fight the White House and Conor McGregor. The UFC's not giving him Conor McGregor. If he were to fight, they'd give him someone else. And he called out Michael Chandler. I considered them, it'd be funny if they give him Michael Chandler, because Michael Chandler wants to fight McGregor so bad. So they could be like, oh, we're going to give you an exciting, flashing striker, because Mauricio Hufi has been compared to like the Brazilian Conor McGregor. But I think it's an insult to Hufi, honestly. He's in the top rankings. I don't want to have him fight below him anymore. I think a good fight for him, and I think this is really good, guys, because like they're only 2 places apart in the rankings. We're gonna give him Mateus Gamrot. I really think this is a good fight because we're gonna see how good Hufi's takedown defense really improved. And Mateus Gamrot just lost to Charles, so we're gonna give him someone ranked below. But I think this is a really good fight. For who I think would win, it'd be pretty close. I think if Hufi defended the takedowns, he could potentially knock out Mateus Gamrot, but Mateus Gamrot could just grapple Hufi, like just lay on top of him and just submit him. But we don't know, honestly. But I think this is a good fight because I'm not going to spoil anything, but Dan Hooker and all the other guys, like in the top 5, we're going to use them in this video too. So those guys are unavailable. And I want him to fight down in the rankings, so we're going to give him Mateus Gamrot. I think this is a good fight. I think this is a perfect fight to do next for Mauricio Hufi. Now, Rafael Fiziev, he, and this is, everyone's been saying this about him, and I completely agree, honestly. He needs to be done to featherweight. Because one thing I noticed about his fights, I was watching film for my 325 breakdown video about him. I'm like, wait a minute, he doesn't really seem to like knock dudes out cold. Like, he lands a lot of strikes, and he doesn't tend to really hurt people, and he's not someone who like goes out like just engaging and slimes people out. So I feel like featherweight's a good place for him because I feel like he'd be a good featherweight, and he's big too. He's pretty big for featherweight, so I think that'd be great for him. And he'd probably have knockout power there too. Well, not knockout power, but I think he could have decent power in featherweight. And there's lots of fun matchups for him down there too. Imagine him versus like Diego Lopes or like Laurent Murphy or something. That'd be pretty fun. But for Rafael Fiziev, I think Fiziev versus Arnold Allen's a fight to make. Like, you really got to hear me out. Arnold Allen, he's really scrappy. This will probably be one of these scrappiest fights. This will literally put the scrap in the word scrappy. Like, these two little fellas, they love the fight. And I think this is just a great fight, honestly. And I think Fiziev would fit great in a featherweight. Arnold Allen, he's ranked number 7 right now, from what I checked last. And if Fiziev wins, dude, he's in the title contention. Like, he's like one more fight away from potentially fighting for the featherweight title. Well, not maybe, I'm over exaggerating, maybe 1 or 2 fights away from fighting for the title. But still, I think this fight's good for him. I think it'd be good for his career. He'd probably get more highlight reel moments. But yeah, I think Fiziev versus Arnold Allen just like the perfect fight to make right now, honestly. Now for the next matchup, BSD versus Dan Hooker. Now, I'm going to talk about BSD first. He did call out that he wants the winner of the BMF belt or the NSU title, which neither of those are going to have, in my opinion. But Charles is fighting Max this March. So what I think they should do is, I wouldn't say give BSD the winner, because I feel like we have to have Armand in this picture somehow. Like, I feel like Armand's getting done too dirty, just being left out completely. I'm going to give Benoit something. He's the loser of this fight, which in my opinion is going to be Max Holloway, because I think Charles Oliveira's going to beat him. Because what will probably happen is that Ilya's probably going to fight Gaethje. He possibly might fight Armand, maybe. But until then, they'll probably, what I would do if I was Dana White, I'd have BSD fight the loser of the BMF belt, because I feel like BSD, as you say, wants to fight for the title. If you beat Max Holloway, that's a pretty justified title shot. So I think BSD should fight the loser of Max Holloway with Charles Oliveira, in my opinion. And as for Dan Hooker, he didn't look too bad in this fight. Like, he had a decent first round, but like, he got grappled. I predicted it perfectly. I said round 2 submission. And it wasn't submission, but BSD was trying to get the choke. He couldn't get it. He's like, all right, screw ground and pound, here we go. And just broke Dan Hooker's face open. For Dan Hooker, this isn't really, I don't really need to talk about this. These two have been beefing like crazy. You already knew who this is. Dan Hooker needs to fight Patty next. I really want to see this fight go down. This would be a good fight. And it's funny because I don't think Patty actually win. Like, it's actually close is what I'm trying to say. I feel like if Patty gets to fight in the ground, it'll generally be close. But with Justin Gaethje, we saw that he had severe trouble doing that. I mean, he couldn't out-grapple Justin Gaethje. There's a chance that Dan Hooker could potentially win this fight and get in the top 6. Dan Hooker it's something goofy. He's always ranked number 6. Like, I feel like most of his career he's been ranked number 6 spot his entire career. It's kind of goofy. But I would give Dan Hooker Patty, and if he beats him, then We'll see where that goes. But yeah, I think Dan Hooker should definitely fight Patty next. Main event matchup time. We're gonna talk about Diego Lopes first. I think he should get a trilogy. But no, I'm joking. That's retarded. I don't know why they even give him the second match in the first place. There's only one fight for Diego Lopes. Like realistically speaking, you guys know who it is. I don't even got hype again. Like the last like I was talking about the last matchup they have beef. Diego Lopes needs to fight Yair Rodriguez now more than ever. It makes more sense now. Like, who are they going to give him a Gene Silva rematch? No, I want to see Diego versus Yair. And if Yair beats Diego Lopes, like, that's I think that's a pretty justified title shot. Like, if he beats a guy who just come off a loss to Volk, I wouldn't be mad if they gave him a title shot off that. Maybe he gets one more win, but dude, like, screw it. Diego versus Yair Rodriguez, genuinely, let's do this fight. I'm down right now. As like a no-chain main event or like a co-main or something. I'm 100% agree to this. Yair, hopefully he's not crying like, give me Volk. Like, stop, dude. You should be lucky to even fight Diego Lopes, dude. Yair kind of pisses me off. I can't even lie. But him versus Diego, 100% the next fight to make. As for Volk, I don't really need to talk about this that much. I mean, Lerone Murphy versus Mobster, he should fight the winner of that. But if the UFC, like, their matchmaking is so rough, they're the same people who, like, said Dominic Reyes versus Carl Solberg was the number one contender fight. Now they're talking about Yuri versus Alex 3, like, all this stuff going on. If I can't get Volk versus the winner of Lerone Murphy and Mobzar, this is gonna piss people off. I hope this doesn't happen next. I really hope the UFC doesn't try and weasel this guy up because they've done stuff like this. They gave Roundtree title shot against Alex. If they're not gonna give Volk the winner of this fight for some reason, for some retarded reason, just do him versus Gene Silva. Like, genuinely, I think Volk will fight at least 2 more times, at max 2 more times. After his fight against Mobster, I think he fights winner of that fight. Maybe fights one more time, then retires. But if we can't get Lerone Murphy versus Volk versus the winner of Lerone Murphy and Mobster, I won't mind seeing him fight Gene Silva. I mean, like, it's so stupid if they do that fight. It genuinely would be so retarded from the UFC's part. But I think, well, if we want to give Gene Silva a proper title match, give Gene Silva the loser of Lerone Murphy versus Mobzar, and if he beats one of those guys, then give him a title shot against Volk. But I feel like it's pretty obvious Volk should fight the winner of Mobzar and Lerone Murphy. That's gonna be it for today's video, guys. So thanks for watching. Hopefully, you guys like my matchmaking. I thought I did pretty good. Like, I feel like if you're gonna do any fights next for these guys in the card, it should be these. I feel like all these make a lot of sense, honestly. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching, and have a nice day. Goodbye.